The presidency sets a standard and expectation. When you're putting yourself out there as a woman, you're challenging voters to think a little bit differently about what's possible.
I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
If Vice President Harris wins the election, she will become the first woman to hold the nation's highest office. Kelly Dittmar is a research director at Rutgers University. She says the president is the first image most people picture when they think of U.S. politics.
And that picture for so much of U.S. history has been white and male.
It's the highest glass ceiling in American politics, and one that women have been trying to break for generations. Rochelle Suissa has dedicated her life to this type of progress.
Both parties ultimately would benefit from having more women on the ballot.
Her nonprofit organization, Dare to Run, encourages women to run for office through mentorship and classes.
The first semester focuses on how to run a successful campaign. The second semester focuses on what to do once you've been elected to public office.
While her organization is nonpartisan, Suissa herself has been a supporter of Harris since her 2019 primary campaign and says she's excited to vote for her in November.
I love that she's a woman, but obviously that can't be the only thing you vote on, right? I like what she stands for.
She recognizes what it took to get to this point.
100 years ago, you wouldn't see this many people at the DNC convention for Belva Lockwood. It just wouldn't happen, right?
Belva Ann Lockwood, who ran in 1884, and Victoria Woodhull, who ran a decade earlier, pioneered seeking elected office for women and had deep ties to the women's rights movement.
That was well before women even had the right to vote. These early candidacies are really overlapping as well with the suffrage movement.
It would take nearly half a century until women secured the right to vote, and almost 80 years before a woman ran again for president.
In the 60s and 70s, where there is a push for greater gender equity. So you're seeing more women run for and serve in office across levels. And Margaret Chase Smith is one of those women.
Chase Smith, a Republican senator from Maine, had served more than 20 years in Congress before deciding to run for president in 1964, becoming the first woman to have her name in nomination for a major party. In 1972, Shirley Chisholm achieved the same in the Democratic Party, earning the distinction of being the first black woman to run on a major party ticket.
She really wanted to be taken seriously. She also pushed throughout the campaign to be sure she was included.
Despite some inroads, including vice presidential nominations on major party tickets, it would be more than 40 years before a woman claimed a major party nomination for the highest office in the land.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
In her second presidential campaign, Hillary Clinton finally cleared that hurdle with a campaign that highlighted the historic achievement.
She would say, I'm not asking to vote for you to vote for me because I'm a woman. I want you to vote for me on the merits, but one of those merits is that I'm a woman. And I bring lived experience and perspectives that haven't been in these conversations before.
On election night, Clinton stood here, poised to symbolically break the glass ceiling, but it remained intact after she lost the race to former President Donald Trump.
This is not the outcome we wanted or we worked so hard for.
There was a real question after 2016 if Clinton's loss would make women not want to run.
But future races proved otherwise, with an explosion of highly qualified female candidates, including Kamala Harris, who went on to become the country's first female vice president in 2020, helping to pave the way for her own campaign 4 years later.
If Harris wins, if she breaks that glass ceiling, what does this mean for the future of women in politics?
It breaks the milestone again in terms of normalizing women's political leadership at the highest level. Does that then inspire more women to run? We hope so.
And usher in a change that is more than just symbolic.
We can't even expect the ways in which her lived experience and perspective might change the conversation, change the voices she brings into the room, and ultimately change some outcomes in terms of the future of the country.
Potentially inspiring the next generation of women leaders along the way. Bree Driscoll, Spectrum News.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage. And click the subscribe button here. You can also download our app and watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.